It's unacceptable. Bradley Walsh. Heartbreaking update drops just a few minutes ago. Broken our hearts, this news. Must see. The news broke on a Tuesday, quiet and insidious at first, like a tremor beneath the bedrock of British life. It began as a small, almost apologetic BBC News alert, then escalated to a full-blown breaking story, flashing across screens and interrupting radio broadcasts. Lionel Croft, the inimitable, the beloved, the king of blankety-blank, had passed away peacefully in his sleep at the age of 88. For a nation accustomed to his twinkling eyes, his infectious chuckle, and his signature catchphrases, it felt as though a vital, colorful thread had been snipped from the tapestry of their collective memory. Lionel Croft wasn't just a comedian, he was an institution, a comforting presence in living rooms across the UK for over half a century. His death wasn't just the loss of a public figure, it was the loss of a familiar, funny uncle, a constant source of unpretentious joy. The tributes began immediately, a tidal wave of grief and gratitude. Social media platforms, usually a cauldron of vitriol, transformed into digital shrines. #RipLionelCroft trended globally within minutes. News channels, abandoning their scheduled programming, scrambled together montages of his greatest moments, the iconic blankety-blank checkbook and pen, his mischievous winks, the outrageous panel responses that often left him and the audience gasping for breath with laughter. BBC One dedicated its evening schedule to him. News at 10 led with a somber, extended report anchored by a visibly moved Hugh Edwards. Then came a hastily curated tribute show, Lionel, A Life in Laughter, narrated by none other than Sir David Attenborough, a lifelong friend. The nation settled down, a collective sigh escaping as they prepared to revisit the golden era of their youth. Lionel Arthur Croft's journey to becoming a national treasure was anything but conventional. Born in the East End of London in 1936, the son of a dockworker and a seamstress, Lionel's childhood was marked by the austerity of post-war Britain. Yet even amidst the rationing and bombed-out ruins, a spark of irrepressible humor ignited within him. He was the cheeky boy who could always make his mum laugh, the one who mimicked the local Bobby with uncanny accuracy, diffusing tension with a well-timed quip. His first foray into entertainment was accidental. After national service, he drifted through various manual jobs, from delivery driver to factory worker. One evening, coerced by friends, he stumbled onto the stage of a dingy workingmen's club in Bethnal Green for an open mic night. He wore his only suit, slightly too big, and clutched a crumpled piece of paper with a few jokes scrawled on it. His knees knocked, his palms sweated. "Evening all," he'd begun, his voice surprisingly clear, despite the tremor. "Saw a dog today. Ugly thing. Looked like it had been hit by a bus. A very slow bus." A ripple of laughter, then a chuckle, then an outright guffaw. The relief was intoxicating. He fumbled through a few more gags, found his rhythm, and discovered a powerful, exhilarating connection with the audience. Lionel Croft, the ordinary lad, had found his calling. He honed his... The BBC tribute, Lionel, A Life in Laughter, unfolded like a comforting blanket. It was a masterclass in retrospective television, weaving together clips from his early, grainy black-and-white performances to his Technicolor prime. Old celebrity panelists, now themselves aged and reflective, shared anecdotes. Joanna Lumley recounted a time he'd quietly bought her a new pair of shoes after she'd complained of aching feet backstage. Stephen Fry spoke of Lionel's surprising erudition, a sharp mind beneath the blanking blank persona. Dawn French, tears welling in her eyes, recalled his kindness when she was a young, struggling comedian. "He didn't need to do it," she choked out, "but he'd seek you out, give you a word of encouragement, make you feel like you belonged. He was a truly good man, a gentle giant in a sometimes cruel industry." The phone lines of the BBC lit up, jammed with viewers desperate to share their own stories.
Radio stations, too, ran open lines, and the anecdotes flowed. "I remember," a voice tremulous with age shared on BBC Radio 2, "back in '85, I was going through a really tough time. Husband had just left. Every Saturday night Lionel would come on, and for half an hour I'd forget everything. He just made me laugh, pure, unadulterated laughter. He saved me in a way." Another caller, a young man from Manchester, spoke of his childhood. "My granddad, he never laughed. Not properly, but Lionel, he'd get him every time. We'd sit there, granddad just roaring with laughter. It's my favourite memory of him. Lionel brought that out." On Twitter, a woman posted a photo of an old, faded checkbook and pen, clearly a treasured family heirloom. "My dad won this on blankety blank in '82, she wrote. "Lionel even signed it for him. Said, 'Don't spend it all at once, mate.' Dad cherished it. Thank you for the memories, Lionel." A group of nurses tweeted, "On our breaks, we'd watch blankety blank reruns. After a long shift, Lionel was exactly what we needed. He just made you forget. He was our antidote." The sheer volume and sincerity of the tributes were staggering. They weren't just from fans, but from people whose lives Lionel Croft had touched in deeply personal ways. He had been a source of escapism, a bringer of levity, a silent companion through loneliness or hardship. He represented a simpler time, a time of innocent laughter and shared national moments. The legacy of Lionel Croft wasn't built on groundbreaking art or profound political statements. It was built on something far more fundamental: the ability to make people smile, to lighten their burdens, even if just for a moment.
It was a quiet Tuesday morning when the BBC newsroom received a somber bulletin. The ticker at the bottom of the screen read, "Breaking. Blankety-blank star Lionel Barrington dies, aged 83. The newsroom fell silent. Phones paused mid-ring, coffees forgotten. For a moment, the weight of nostalgia pressed itself into every corner of the building. Lionel Barrington, the beloved panelist, the cheeky raconteur, the man whose sharp tongue and warm heart had captivated the nation for over 5 decades, was gone. Within minutes, the tributes began to pour in, first from viewers, then celebrities, and finally, global networks. BBC News cut its schedule for a special tribute, and across the nation, the public mourned not just a television personality, but a friend. Lionel Barrington wasn't born famous. Born in 1942 in a modest flat in Hackney, East London, he was the son of a tram driver and a seamstress. A precocious child with a dazzling smile and an even sharper wit, he fell in love with performance during his school production of Oliver, where he played the Artful Dodger. He studied drama at RADA and slogged through years of pub theater, pantomime, and radio voiceovers before catching his big break on the 1979 Christmas special of Blankety Blank, hosted then by the legendary Terry Wogan. Lionel's larger-than-life persona, razor-sharp quips, and ability to tease the host and contestants alike made him an instant fan favorite. From that day forward, he became a fixture on Blankety Blank, appearing on over 600 episodes across various eras, outlasting 4 different hosts and several primetime format changes. His glittery lapels, comic timing, and signature wink were as iconic as the show's absurd prizes and cardboard checkbook. "Heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken," wrote Strictly Come Dancing star Claudia Winkleman on X, formerly Twitter. "Lionel made us laugh when we needed it most. What a man, what a loss," added Graham Norton, who once hosted Blankety Blank himself. BBC One aired a primetime tribute that evening, Lionel Barrington, the star of the blank. The special featured archival footage of